is advised.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Board Games Unlocked, and today I'm going to be doing a no-run-through review for the newest Marvel Champions hero, Drax. The fourth and final member of the Guardians of the Galaxy, well, not counting Nebula, which is rumored to come out, and probably 900 other Guardians that I don't know about. But anyway, this is the main one, or one of the four, and once again, Marvel Champions and Fantasy Flight, they are just knocking it out of the park with these heroes. I cannot tell you how much I love basically almost every hero. Even the ones that I don't like are still pretty damn good. And just like the other three, Gamora, Star-Lord, Rocket, and Groot, Drax is phenomenal and plays drastically different than all the other people. So, did I say fourth and final? Forgot that they're the fifth, because Gamora. Anyway, we're talking about Drax here, and Drax is awesome. He is like a perfect balance of, well, not really thwarting. He can't thwart a whole lot, but perfect balance of kind of what you envision Drax to be. Basically, aggression, hard-hitting, and hard to kill. So, with taking a look at his cards, his alter ego form doesn't inherently do anything. It has a nice recovery of 4. He already has 14 hit points, which is high. It's one of the highest, I think, out of all the heroes. I want to say Hulk might have more, but I can't remember off the top of my head. But yeah, 4 recovery. But he has a forced response, which only goes off when you flip to his alter ego. So we'll talk about that in a sec. So if we go into his hero form, which is he has 1 thwart, 1 attack, and 2 defense, which is weird because you'd be like, oh, I expected him to be stronger. Not really with thwarting, or I expect him to have higher defense or attack. Well, it's because he gets +1 for each vengeance counter that is on him. And once again, he has a response that is, after the villain attacks him, then he gets a vengeance counter. So the revenge kind of theme around Drax is implemented here. So yeah, you can only go up to a maximum of 3, and if you can't, you get to draw a card. So he has some card draw advantage, which is really nice. So he gets +1 for each vengeance counter, meaning he can go up to a +4 attack, or a 4 total attack every time he gets attacked. So you'd be thinking, well, he's going to die pretty quick if I just let people attack him. Well, not necessarily, because then we start looking at his cards, which for a lot of the cards that are in here, he comes with protection, which is mainly to kind of ensure he stays alive. Like a lot of ways to, if he defends, he readies. If he can reduce the amount of attack that the enemy is coming at him, like where was it? Subdue. It's just a regular protection card, but it makes, if the villain targets you, it's a -3 attack, which is really good. So he's all about kind of taking hits and then dealing out those hits back with like counterpunch. After the hero defends against an enemy attack, deal damage to that enemy equal to your hero's attack. Like, okay, well, if he has full vengeance, then that means if he defends, then he just hits back for 4. But let's see. But yeah, he has a lot of cards that are in his deck that cost 0, which is great. He only has 1 that really is high, not counting allies. Allies are usually pretty high. But if we are looking at the ones that cost 0 and the ways that keep him alive, then you have parry and you have payback. So these two cost 0. There is parry, which says when you would take any amount of damage, prevent X of that damage equal to double your attack. So you have to kind of let him get hit a little bit to accrue those vengeance counters, because then they're really going to pay off. So this alone already would defend against 2, but then then it goes 2, 4, 6, 8 if you are maxed out on vengeance, which it takes a lot for an enemy to deal 8 damage to you for you to defend against that, and that's just free. But since that is free, you can also parry and then do payback, which payback is you just deal, after the villain attacks you, deal X damage to the villain, where X is equal to your attack. Oh, look at that. All right, well, so I'm going to parry, and then I'm immediately going to pay back, so I'm just going to deal 4 damage. And I got to say, the villains that I fought with Drax, their first level, like their level 1 phase, was like nothing. It like he mowed down through them almost immediately. And there is a balance to Drax. He can hit really hard, but then he has to kind of recharge, hence why he has the protection to kind of let him build up to hit hard again. So those are the the 2 free cards. There's another free card in his deck called Fight Me, Coward, which you get to ready your hero. This is for free, and draw a card, so it's basically just a free ready. But then the villain attacks you, which you might think, oh, that sucks, I don't want to be attacked. However, there is a way for you to accrue those vengeance tokens faster, because the Fight Me, Coward, it just says, after the villain attacks Drax, he gets a vengeance counter. And so if the villain phase, he gets attacked, oh, okay, well, you're going to attack with Drax, you're going to deal like 3 damage, and then play Fight Me, Coward, and then, ready Drax again, villain attacks you, now you have 4, or now you have 3 vengeance counters, so now you're dealing 4 damage if you attack again. And there are just so many ways to ready Drax. I mean, like, even with his protection, Leading Blow is a protection card that is, when you attack with a basic attack, you reveal an encounter card and lower the amount of damage by the boost. But if it still deals damage, then you get to ready your hero. So there are multiple ways that you can actually ready Drax. So he's doing 12 damage. I mean, so those are the free cards that are in his deck. Now let's take a look at, the ones that are kind of cheaper. So we have Dwee Feet Mastery, which is a response, costs 1. After Drax makes a basic attack, draw 1 card. So, hey, I'm going to do a basic, which is pretty much all you're doing with him. That's the main way you're going to be dealing damages with a basic attack. So you get some card draw there, which is fantastic. I love card draw. But then you can give him his iconic weapons. So if we look at, we have Drax's Knife, which is restricted, costs 1, but it gives him +1 attack, so now he can deal 5 damage if he's full out on vengeance counters. And then you have Drax's other Knife, which is restricted, but it gives him Retaliate, so now when he's dealing when he's taking damage from villains or minions or whoever, he's at least dealing 1 damage back, which is just amazing. So and that would be pretty much the only weapons he's going to have are his 2 knives. And then you have his big wombo combo. I'm going to hold on to these 2 for a sec. But then you have his Knife Leap, which is 3. It's one of the most expensive in his deck, not counting, who was it? It's like Moon something. Moon Dragon? Oh, I thought she was 4 in here. But I can't find her, so yeah. Martyr is 4. So that costs, that's a number, or level 4. I need to put this in here to talk about her. So Knife Leap can be free if you have max out Vengeance to jump in, and it gives a +5 attack. When you make a basic attack, you get +5 attack for that attack. This attack gains Overkill and Piercing. That is insane. Like, whenever I fought Ronan with him, it was like, Ronan starts with Toughness. It's like, oh, nope, that's gone. Gonna immediately come in and, do 6 damage right off the bat. Like, that's, and then actually fighting Ronan, you have the Power Stone, so you deal 7 damage. Ronan's, in a solo game, Ronan's first health is 14, so you have his health almost immediately. Then, so that can be free, and there's I think 2 Knife Leaps in here. So a lot of his high-powered cards can deal, can become free to actually deal a shit ton of damage. So that's that. Now, you might be sitting here and being like, well, that's great and all, but what about villains that do a lot of thwarting, like Thanos, or not Thanos, Ronan, or Red Skull, or those? It's like, well, yes. Drax sucks ass at thwarting. He is very, very bad. He has almost nothing to actually do a lot of thwart. He has some, against Ronan, there was exhaust the Milano to remove 3 threat. That was pretty much it. He is not that kind of person. So he is kind of a one-trick pony with dealing damage because he can't thwart. However, he does have a few cards. There is Intimidation, which is an action. You remove X threat from your scheme where X is equal to your attack. So That's one way he can remove a whole bunch, but he only has like 2 of those in the deck. He does it through his attack, not even through really thwart. So, I mean, you have ways to remove if you're maxed out on vengeance and you have your knife. That would be 5, so you'd be able to remove 5 thwart, which isn't nothing. However, it is kind of he's not going to be the one thwarting a whole lot. So, you might be asking, well, what do you need to do to keep him alive, because he's going to be doing that damage. And well, he does have, this is the first card I've seen of anything that's like this, and that is Too Stubborn to Die. This is amazing because when Drax would be defeated, instead set his hit point dial to 4, change him to alter ego form, and remove that card from the game. It's the only one in his deck, I believe, but he has 14 health. That 4 damage is not nothing, and he goes to his alter ego form. Well, after you change to this form, this is where his alter ego ability comes in. Remove all vengeance counters from his alter ego, and then you heal 2 damage from him for each vengeance that way. So pretty much, if you play Too Stubborn to Die, the way I do it is, if you have vengeance on him, you flip it, and then you get rid of all those vengeance, but now he comes back and he has 10 health, because it'd be the 6 plus the 4 there. If that's not the case, still you get the 4 hit points, but that's just kind of how I was doing it, because this is a response as well as that being an interrupt. So yeah, that is an amazing card because that keeps him alive. And then of course you have his girlfriend or whoever, romance interest, Mantis, which is a cheaper ally that comes specifically in his deck, and you can exhaust her, deal her a damage, and heal 3, so she can keep him alive even more. Not counting the protection cards that prevent damage or attacking or anything like that. So yes, those are all of his cards. Drax is amazing when it comes to constantly dealing damage and high amounts of damage. So let's take a look and see what we can do to try and see if we can min-max based off of obviously his pre-constructed deck. So if you have Drax, if you have his knife out, and you're in his alter ego form, or is in his hero form, and you have the three vengeance counters, so you already have all that. Let's see. You can get his second knife leap out if you had the perfect deck. And the other thing that kind of balances him out is whenever his hand size and alter ego is 6, which is pretty good, but in hero form it's 4, so you do kind of have to balance him out. Alright, so if you had your hand of 6, you would be able to, you have those 2, you have the two knife leaps, then leading blow, we'll go with leading blow because that a lot of it is actually dealing damage if if you're dealing damage or you're taking damage. So with his parry, so he's actually pretty interesting. Alright, so did I have more leading blows in here? Yes, I think I do, because those are free. Yeah, there are 2 in here. Alright, so if this was your hand, you could deal, you have 5 right there. So if you attacked with Knife Leap, which would be free because now you have 3 vengeance counters, it's -1 for each one, so that becomes a 10. So then you're dealing, that would be 10 damage. Then you play Leading Blow, so you have to do a basic attack. Let's say if you get really lucky and there's no boost icons, then that would still be 10 damage. So let's just say best case scenario. Then you ready Drax again. Then you do another Knife Leap, so that's 20 damage coming his way because it's +5 and you already have the 5 here. You do Leading Blow again to ready him. So I'm not even showing the cards because I suck. So Knife Leap with a Leading Blow, best case scenario, no boost icons, into another Knife Leap with Leading Blow. So that's 20 total damage. Now, the best case is you So that's 20 damage on his turn. Then you get attacked. Actually, no, because then you can play Fight Me, You Coward, which lets you attack again, ready and then attack, and you'd be at 5, so 25 damage. And so he's ready. Then you get attacked. So that would be pretty much your hand. You could have one more if you had the 6, and then he gets attacked by the villain. You play Payback. You deal another 5, so that's 30 damage total with these 6 cards. 2, 4, yep. And that's best case scenario that I could think of, literally off the top of my head, fully maxed out. And then, oh, you take some damage, well then you flip over and then you heal up, and then you just keep going like that. Yeah, Drax is pretty great, but it's interesting because he deals a pretty good amount of damage on his turn, but he can also deal a good amount of damage not on his turn, which I haven't seen a whole lot. So they did a really good job at making him unique, just like all of the other Guardians. So that's, and I mean I think he has a few other. Nope, he has a few other allies in the protection that of course can protect him and make him not die. So he does have a little bit of setup, and yeah. So on a scale of 1 to 10, what would I give Drax the Destroyer? I think I'm gonna give him a 9. Like, he is awesome. He has ways to draw cards. He doesn't have a whole lot of playing. Like, he doesn't have a whole lot of stuff in his play area. A lot of it's going to be free from his hand, but I play for card combos. This is like right up my alley. But yeah, he will playing by himself. You have to try and take him out before their threat gets too out of hand, because he does not really have a lot of ways to do that. But I love the fact that Drax, Gamora, Star-Lord, Rocket, and Groot all play radically different. It is phenomenal. Drax is amazing whenever you want those combos. And just with a very simple, I mean, he's kind of simple if you think about it. Like, yeah, he just wants to attack. But I think he's fantastic. So, 9 out of 10 for Drax. Let me know what you think of him in the comments below. Other than that, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and have a wonderful whatever time of day it is for you. Hey everyone, thank you for watching, and I really hope that you enjoyed the video. If you would like to see more of my content, go ahead and click that subscribe button and the bell to be notified whenever I upload any new content. If you feel like supporting the channel, you can go ahead and click that Patreon link to be taken to my Patreon, and any help is truly appreciated. Other than that, stick around for any other run-throughs or reviews or cool top 10s or whatever I feel like putting on. Other than that, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and have a wonderful whatever time of day it is for you.